G'day guys, Matt from Vapes here, back again to help keep you up to date with the latest and greatest in herb vaping news and content. Now, this week I recently copped the Haze Square Portable Vape, which is a quad chamber vape from Haze Tech over in Atlanta, Georgia. This is the third vape in the line of Haze portable devices, this being the Haze V2 and V3 coming out first. Now the V2 and V3 were super hyped for their dual chambers, so people were always stoked that you could load up a couple of different types of herbs or concentrates at the same time without having to swap between chambers. So if you're dealing with the same herbs, that saves a chamber swap somewhere in the mix, or if you're dealing with different herbs like a sativa or an indica and want to switch it up from day to night, that was super efficient for people. Found it really user friendly. Now with the Haze Square, they've come back at it again. The Square obviously is a little bit associated with the design of the device, but it also links up to the 4 sides or 4 chambers that it comes equipped with. Now, other devices since the Haze V2 and V3 have also included dual chambers, so whether it be for concentrate and herb or just 2 herb chambers or whatever, but this is the first device I've ever come across that has 4 individual baking chambers. So that's a really big deal because you can keep going a whole day without ever having to grind up, get rid of your AVB, swap over friggin' chambers or dosing capsules or anything like that. You can get your 2 different sativas or indicas or waxes or whatever you want going in the one device. Now, I knew these Haze devices were quality. You know, it was designed and manufactured in the USA. I tried the Haze V2 and V3 and was super impressed with both the dry herb and concentrate functions. But with this Haze Square, the flavor is just exquisite. It's a really intricate device. You know, they've gone more down the line of like a micro-dose style vape. They've labeled this one an on-demand portable vaporizer. So basically every time you want to take a hit, you're having to preheat that herb chamber, which I don't necessarily consider a bad thing. You know, like when you're having a session and you get halfway through and want to continue doing something else, you have to come back to a half-baked session later on, and like all those initial terpenes and flavonoids are out of the picture by then. So it's not necessarily ideal, but for a device like this where the temperature isn't sitting in that constant heating function, you know, you're having to constantly reheat the chamber each time, I really think that it's a lot more beneficial to a connoisseur herb consumer. So someone that's dealing with really good weed and doesn't want to have to, you know, fucking have half a session and throw it out because they don't want to have a crappy tasting vape. This is a really good device for that. You know, so I loaded up some herbs. I'm just going to show you guys how this one works now. So to get it going, it's got this little dial on the back. So with that, you pretty much just press it down a little bit and flick it across, and the device comes apart into 2 parts. So on this top part, it's where it's got the button for navigation, it's got the USB port in the side, and as you can see here, it's just got this little convection element. So it's pretty similar to a conduction coil that you'd find in an e-cigarette, but this vape is complete convection. It doesn't come into contact with the herbs, merely heats the air that you're pulling through. Airflow, this thing's got it in spades. It's got a couple of little input ducts on the side, and even the crack in the middle is not entirely sealed, so you're constantly pulling a little bit of air through. When we're looking at the herb chambers, I'll break this one down now. So this is the herb chamber, or the concentrate chamber, whatever you want to call it. The quad chamber, it's often referred to. Pretty much what it is just 4 individual ceramic herb baskets, and at the bottom it's got some stainless steel screens that help to keep the little herb filters from coming and entering your vapor puff. So to bust that open, you just pull it apart like this. It's going to have this little silicone entrance. So it's got the 4 silicone caps down at the bottom here, with the little herb baskets on the inside. So all you gotta do is just plug this in like that. You can see down at the bottom here, it's got the concentrate baskets. So you can flick them out like this. If you pull off the silicone lid at the top, it's gonna open up that little stainless steel liquid pad in the middle. So you can load anywhere up to 0.2, 0.3 of a gram of concentrate at a time into one of these. Now it's always good when you're first using your vaporizer, burn it off of course, to get rid of any residual manufacturer oils or anything like that that may be in the midst. But when you're using a liquid pad, you do generally have to glob a rather decent sized amount of concentrate in for the first time. So that's just gonna get that residual well of reclaim sort of started in the liquid pad, and it's gonna eventually end in those massive sort of terpene clouds that you're looking for. So once you pop this back together, once I've got the herb loaded up in the baskets, very easy, it's just silicone. You just press it in like that. You're gonna wanna load the heating element onto the back of the device, and then just press this in. You're gonna rotate it like that. Just make sure it's all lined up. There we go. Now this one, obviously it's not just a draw through the top. It has a little straw tucked into the side of it. It's also made out of zirconia, so it's just for regulating the heat a little bit more as well. So it's just got this little straw, these silicone O-rings in the top, and that pops down into the device like that. So now you can use it like a PAX or a Crave Cloud or something along those lines, where you're just hitting it like this, not having to use a straw, but I definitely recommend using a straw. Now to use this one, 3 clicks to turn it on. It's very sensitive. It's got lots of vibration notifications, so to let you know that it's reached the required temp, to let you know that it's ready to toke, the toke's finished, temperature, stuff like that. So if I'm flicking these ones on the top, it's the plus and minus buttons, it's going to let me circle through my 5 preset temperatures. Now this one is the Haze Square Pro. The original Haze Square comes with 5 settings. The Haze Square Pro, you can download a Windows app, and via that app you can preset whatever temperature you want between 340 and 450 degrees Fahrenheit, which is roughly 170 to 235 degrees Celsius. So on this one, I've changed the preset temperature, so I've got it starting at 180 Celsius, jumping all the way up to 200, 210, 220, and 230. So I've gone a little bit higher. I found this is full convection, so you can start a little bit higher. It's not going to char the herb. And I pretty much keep my session on temperature setting 1 until I'm not getting too much more vapor, and then start to crank it up a little bit. So at the moment, I'm on 1, so that's 180 degrees. As I mentioned, it's an on-demand vape. It's not a vape that is constantly in session mode. You're going to have to hold down this button at the front for a few seconds. It'll start to flash. It'll vibrate to let you know that it's heating up. Then when it's reached the required thing, it'll turn green like this. And then again vibrating at the end, just to indicate that the draw time is over. So this one gives you a really long draw time. You can get about 10 seconds on it. And a little bit deeper into the session, you're not going to be getting as much visible vapor, same as right at the start of the session, but from maybe 2 or 3 tokes in, you start getting really big clouds of visible vapor. So the flavor is fantastic. It's full convection, obviously, so there's none of that residual sort of burny or combustion taste in there. It's got really great terpene profile. Even though doesn't have any elements of quartz or glass or anything in like that, it tastes just as pure as, say, an Ariza vape would. It's up there with Dynavap, something like that. Something with a super pure vapor profile. This is a premium device. Obviously it comes with a premium price tag, but if you're looking for a device that is great for microdosing, you really never have to change the herb. You can just load up a couple of sessions, just keep passing it around. This is going to be an ideal vape for you. So if you're busy, like to vape on the go, just have something sitting on the desk and pick it up for a quick hit every now and again, the Haze Square Portable Vape is going to be the perfect device for you. Now, we haven't got this in stock yet, but I'm talking to the manufacturers. I'm looking at getting it in stock now, so keep an eye out for the Haze Square Pro in the Vape Fuse online store. And remember to subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with the latest and greatest in herb vaping news and content. Thanks, guys.